Sunday. A few of the high points was the elimination match between Epi.3 and Fortune, which ended with AJ Styles pinning Tommy Dreamer. Then the main event was a tag team match between Angle and Hardy and Pope and Anderson, who were the 4 semi-finalists in the World Title Tournament. Angle was going to face Hardy that Sunday, and Anderson facing the Pope. Obviously created a lot of tension. Match ended when Anderson hit the mic check, then Pope came in and stole the win. And that made Anderson pretty mad. Then Hardy and Angle started brawling, and well, that's how it ended with the 4 men, the 2 men who would be facing each other brawling, Hardy versus Angle, Anderson versus the Pope. And that's pretty much all for Impact. Now, moving on to the No Surrender pay-per-view. Our first pay-per-view since we've started this, by the way.
I didn't really hear much about it. Didn't get to read the review. But John was telling me about the Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy match.
Obviously match of the night and possible match of the year candidate, but I want to save that for a little bit later on in this review. I'm just going to go ahead and start running it down. It was originally supposed to be London Brawling versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the tag titles, but London Brawling couldn't be there for personal reasons that can't yet be discussed, which has me a little concerned because the last time a wrestler couldn't show up to a pay-per-view for personal reasons was at Vengeance in 2007, and that wrestler's name was Chris Benoit, and we kind of know what happened there.
I don't think that it's
yeah,
that
I'm
bad.
sure that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I just see that as a bad omen nowadays. But anyway, Generation Me faced the Guns, and I didn't get to see it, but from reviews, obviously another great match because those two can put on great matches. And surprisingly enough, Generation Me made a heel turn and actually took out Alex Shelley after the match, and he had to be taken out on a stretcher. X Division title match, Sabu versus Douglas Williams. Sabu botched a few moves. He's obviously not the wrestler he used to be,
Yeah.
but he can still pull off some good stuff. From what I saw, it was a pretty decent match other than Sabu's botches. Douglas Williams was able to get the win, retain his title. Another match, Falls Count Anywhere between Rhino and Abyss. A lot of back and forth action. They actually went outside of the arena and fought in Orlando and came back in. Rhino kicks out after a black hole slam. Abyss kicks out after a gore. Another black hole slam, and Abyss wins. Moving on to the Tommy Dreamer AJ Styles match, an I Quit match. This one actually did get a little bit bloody. Tommy Dreamer got busted open. Unique weapon use. At the end, AJ Styles made Tommy Dreamer quit by actually sticking a fork into his forehead. Yeah, that's...
I never... I'm not even going to comment on that one.
That's a little bit outside of the box.
Yeah.
Now we can finally move on to the match of the night, without a doubt, and a possible, very possible match of the year possibility. Jeff Hardy versus Kurt Angle, awesome match, great action, great spots. Kurt Angle hit a really hard powerbomb at the beginning to really get the match in his favor. One spot saw Kurt Angle laying on the floor of the arena, and Jeff Hardy did a swanton off the top rope to Kurt Angle, who was laying on the arena floor. Jeff Hardy then, when Kurt was back in the ring, hits a swanton. Kurt kicks out, hits another one. Kurt kicks out, goes for a third one. Kurt gets his knees up, then hits an angle slam on Hardy. Kick out. Towards the end, Kurt's got Jeff in the ankle lock, and out of all, this is just something that caught everybody off guard. The bell starts ringing, time limit draw. Like this, I don't know why, at 20 minutes, first of all, I don't know why TNA has these time limits anyway. Second, you would think that a match this important would have like at least a 30 to 45 minute time limit. But anyway, moving on, Eric Bischoff comes out and says add 5 more minutes to the match.
Well, see, what's supposed to happen when you have a time limit is you're supposed to tell the people, and I don't know if they did or not, but...
Yeah, they probably announced it before the match,
But you plan matches around that time limit you set, not at overtime.
Yeah, well, I think that this was just part of their story, that neither one of these guys can be beat or something. Well, anyway, in this 5 minutes, Kurt Angle actually gives Jeff Hardy a angle slam off the top rope, and Hardy still kicks out. And this one ends with them both hitting clotheslines on each other. Angle covers Hardy towards the end, but Hardy still kicks out, and time expires again. They go into overtime again, and during this one, Kurt Angle goes for his shoulder charge into the corner on Hardy. He moves out of the way. Angle hits his head on the ring post and gets busted open. Then Hardy puts Angle in a Boston Crab, and Angle reverses it into an ankle lock. And with it locked in again, time expires, and this time they decide to stop the match because of Kurt Angle's bleeding. Very ridiculous TNA. It's a very disappointing ending to a great match. However, I don't think that the bad writing and bad booking for this match should take out the fact that these two put on an absolute classic. And who knew it was going to happen at TNA's No Surrender pay-per-view, really? I could see WrestleMania throwing out the match of the year. Travis, you like to say anything about this?
I mean, I read a little bit on the night. Not really into TNA all that well, but I like what they're doing to some degree.
But in the other tournament semifinal, however, we did get a clear winner as Mr. Anderson defeated Pope. After Pope went for the DDE, the D'Angelo De Niro Express, and then Anderson hit his finisher, the mic check. Pope kicked out after the first mic check, but after the second, that was it. But this match went on after the Angle Hardy, which was hard to follow.
That I did hear. I heard that it really wouldn't have mattered how great that match would have been, and from what I heard, they didn't mesh in the ring as well as they do when they are on the mic. But I don't know. That's just what I heard.
Yeah, but you can't really follow a big 30-minute matchup. But I would have felt kind of ripped off to actually seen this match end, the Angle Hardy one in that way. I mean, I could understand like a situation where both men are like on top of each other getting pinned or double count out or even but this time limit draw thing was kind of a bad move on TNA, which also brings up another question. When the original time expired, why'd they add 5 more minutes? Why'd they keep doing that? Why didn't they just eventually say, we're going till we got a winner?
Just the bad writing, again, I guess.
Yeah, TNA's... Now, Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle, they did a great job in the ring together. And also, on another note, Kurt Angle actually had a rib dislocated after that big swanton from Jeff Hardy doing it off the top to the floor. And from Jeremy Borash's tweet, he said, and I quote, well, this ain't really a quote, but to paraphrase what he said, Kurt Angle was in the back with the doctor. The doctor actually had to put Kurt's rib back in place, and then Kurt said, alright, I'm good to go for the next show. And Jeremy Borash followed that up saying, what a machine. Because Kurt Angle has wrestled through a lot of injuries, and he's earned a lot of respect. Probably one of the greatest wrestlers around right now.
Yeah. That will do our coverage in for this week. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Check us out on Facebook.
Square Circle 101. Like us on there. Post any questions for our questions segment on our video, on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page. We don't care. We just
if you can give us a question or a comment, what you think of the show.
Anything.
Anything.
But this is the Square Circle 101. And, well,
Peace.